I'm not saying you're a coward. I'm just saying it's a cowardly act to ghost somebody. That's all I'm saying. We have a very strong anti-ghosting platform on this show, especially now that you can just text somebody. All you got to do is text somebody.
You joined late, FYI.
What do you mean?
Because all this came about with one of our closure segments, and you never understood why anybody would reach back out, because it's like they've already said enough, blah, blah, blah. Like, and then it wasn't until our buddy Mo got ghosted that you all of a sudden were like very much anti-ghosting.
Once I saw the pain in his face.
Exactly.
None of this was necessary.
And the devastation he was going through for close to half an hour.
It was a rough 30 minutes.
That's when I realized the emotional impact ghosting has on people.
It was more like 22 minutes, but it's fine.
But this isn't necessarily ghosting about a date.
No, this is a different kind of ghosting, which I have never heard of in my life. And I have to do something about it because, unfortunately, it is a friend of mine who has now invented this kind of ghosting. So I have a good friend, really good friend, actually. And he decided to take up tattooing as a hobby once he was done with his profession that he currently was in at the time. He realized that tattooing was his actual dream. Like, so that's what he's always wanted to do.
Not receiving tattoos, being the tattoo artist.
Being the actual tattoo artist. Now, I'll give it to him. He's gotten really good over the years. When he first started, he wasn't the greatest. And he was tattooing on one of his brothers. And his brother's walking around with all of those pre-professional tattoos on his body for the rest of his life.
Yeah, where do you practice when you're like a rookie tattooist, right? I mean, if you are a chiropractor, I think you're supposed to get like 50 people. You do adjustments on 50 different people even before you have your license. So in the tattoo world, where do you get your experience?
Kaylee, correct me if I'm wrong. Don't they do it on pigs? Hello?
It's something they don't talk about. Tattoo artists.
I never heard that one.
Yeah.
You could use a grapefruit.
Uh-huh.
Using a grapefruit to tattoo on is the closest thing to like skin. So people practice on that, and then they practice on their friends.
Oh, on your friends.
Right.
Okay, that's a good friend.
Because I know my sister, who started tattooing recently, they now have like, it's supposed to be some human skin developed thing, pad-like thing that she uses.
Yeah.
But in his day, which was about 15 years ago, you practiced on your brother. That's just what you did. And to this day, I've never let him give me a tattoo because I just don't want a tattoo from somebody who does tattoos on the side. I kind of rather that be your main thing. Mm-hmm. So I don't do it.
Yeah.
But he's built up a clientele all over the world. And one day he calls me, which I was kind of mad about. And he's like, I'm coming to Atlanta. And he had never been to Atlanta to see me. And this is like a top tier friend for me. And I thought he was coming for me, and he wasn't. He was coming because he had some clients that he wanted to do tattoos for.
Okay.
But I'm like, whatever, dude. Whoever gets us to hang out, I'm cool with it.
Sure.
So he comes out, he does these tattoos, and then I get to hang out with him for like a night or two, and then he takes off, and I don't think anything of it.
That is a dude you do not want to drink and pass out around. Or
Absolutely.
You're going to be...
You wake up looking like Lil Wayne.
You're the next canvas.
Sharpies don't seem so bad anymore.
Right?
So he takes off. This is, mind you, I would say 2 years ago, maybe even 3. And I go out over the weekend with a friend of mine and run into someone who recognizes me. Now, I think that they recognize me from the show. Mm-hmm. So no problem. We start to strike up a conversation. I find out they didn't. They recognized me from my friend. This was the person that he did the tattoo on when he was here. And so they tell me the whole story. Hey, Mo, oh my God, it's funny running into you here. How you been? Da-da-da. So I'm like, I'm cool. So they asked me, how's your friend doing? So I'm like, he's great. Have you spoke to him? I don't speak to him too often, but last time I spoke to him, he was great. And he said, no, actually, I've been trying to get a hold of him. I'm hoping maybe you can do it for me. So I'm like, yeah, no doubt. I could definitely get a hold of him. What's the problem? So he lifts his sleeve up and he has like it's really nice, actually. Like, I was kind of shocked, but it's like a dragon on his forearm. And then there's a guy like riding the dragon, but the guy only has half his body.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So initially I thought that was the design. I was like, okay, that's a little weird.
Some kind of symbolism going on about a half body,
yes, right? So then he's like, no, your friend never finished it.
No.
I said, come on, man. He wouldn't do that. No, my guy, he said, I'm promise you, I don't know what happened. He ran out of ink. and he told me that he was going to finish it.
Okay.
And I've been calling him for 2.5 years, and he will not answer the phone.
All right. First of all, if you're a tattoo artist, it's the one thing you're not allowed to run out of. It's like going to an Italian restaurant and they're like, you know what? Out of pasta. Sorry. No red sauce tonight, guys. Just ran out.
Exactly. So he told him he would get it done the next day, but then he did follow up and say, I have to take off. I apologize. Family things going on. Then my dude has just never answered the dude's call.
For 2.5 years, he's been walking around with a
2.5 years.
half-done tattoo.
Man got a half-body dragging on his forearm. So I called my guy immediately. I didn't do it like right in front of the guy.
Yeah.
I waited till I was alone. I FaceTime him. He answers the phone all jolly, like normal. I'm like, bro, somebody just ran up on me and said that you didn't finish their tattoo, man. Like, tell me this is the truth. So immediately, he like drops his head in shame.
Oh, no.
He's like, yeah, that's true. I did do that. So I'm like, why would you do that, bro?
Right.
You can't do that, man. Like, you have to fix this. So he's like, I didn't like it.
What?
That's what the guy said.
So rather than finish it out, he's just like, I'm going to bail.
He said it started with him trying to like deal with himself because he felt like he did a horrible job. And then after a while, he just got busy. And I was like, you are top 5 worst people on the planet.
For
bro.
sure.
So I made him promise to come here and not only fix it, but fix it for free.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you got to get this dude a extra, like a buy one, get one free tattoo or something. I don't know how it works in tattoo world. She's like, so I can't charge him? No, no, you can't charge him. So I gotta stay on him because that's my dude. I love him, but he's a wild card.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Yeah, I gotta stay on him, but I'm promised I'm gonna try to get this person's tattoo done if it's the last thing I do.
We are now fully invested,
Yes.
and you have to keep us updated as to whether he's going to get the rest of his dragon.
I'll keep you posted.
That is jacked up.
I know, man.
The Bert Show.